In this video, we're going to be discussing how to replace the condenser fan on a 10 kilowatt air assist medicooled chiller. Before you begin, let's talk about the tools you're going to need to do this job. You're going to need a 14 millimeter socket, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a 8 millimeter or a 1/8 inch flathead screwdriver, and a ratchet. Before you actually start working on the equipment, it's really important that you verify that the power has been shut off at the main breaker. I have it shut off here and also on the chiller itself. Once you verify that there is no power to the chiller, we can go ahead and begin working on this. Use your number 2 Phillips screwdriver and remove the 2 screws holding the back cover on the fan and remove the cover. Next thing you're going to want to do is take a picture of the wires and where they terminate on this connection. You want to make sure you got clear pictures so you know exactly where each wire goes to. Next thing you're going to do is use your 1/8 flathead screwdriver and loosen up all these connections here. Next thing you want to do is loosen this nut holding the wiring harness together, and then go ahead and slowly feed these wires through. Make sure they don't snag on anything. Go ahead and set that off to the side. Next thing you're going to do is go ahead and twist this whole piece out. Set that off to the side as well. At this point, we've successfully unwired this thing. And we can go ahead and start removing the 4 bolts holding this in place. Once you removed all 4 bolts, you can carefully, this is actually heavier than it looks, slide this out and set it off to the side. At this point, this would be the point where we grab a whole new fan assembly and we pull it out of the box and we'd go to reinstall it. We'd go ahead and remove the back cover off the new one. Since this fan is actually good, we're going to go ahead and put this back into place. You're going to line this back up into the holes and kind of just have it set there for a minute. And start putting your 4 bolts back into place. Once you got them all started, go ahead and tighten them down as far as you can. I recommend doing all this by hand so you don't thread or strip the bolts in the back or the nut. Once you got them all hand tightened, you can go ahead and take out your ratchet and snug them down just slightly. Once you got these 4 bolts in place and back tight, you're going to go ahead and take the fitting that you screwed out earlier and thread it into the new fan assembly. Make sure while you're putting this fan in place that you still point this bottom hole towards this box over here. Once you got that fitting in place, you can go ahead and slowly push all the wires back into place. A lot of times there will also be a zip tie onto here. Go ahead and put it back on if you did remove that. At this point, we're back down to the wiring. Go ahead and kind of free these wires up a little bit and pull out your picture you took earlier or your notepad that you wrote down the numbers with. We can go ahead and reinstall the wires onto this assembly. For this assembly, the wiring is ground 18, 17, 213, and then 215. Once you got all those tightened down, Go ahead and slide this back into the little bar assembly they have back there. Little tabs to kind of hold this in place. We can go ahead and put the new cover on. Use our number 2 Phillips screwdriver and tighten down the cover. Okay, at this point we've successfully replaced the condenser fan on a 10 kilowatt air assist chiller. If you have any more questions or concerns on how to do this process or any other process replacement on an air assist chiller, feel free to give ACT a call at any time. Thank you.